A.J. Brown, allegedly in the middle of a conversation for an extension with the Tennessee Titans. He's about to get paid well via Diana Rossini. Diana Rossini, who was plugged into a lot of different situations around the NFL, including the Tennessee Titans. I believe she had Julio Jones to the Titans before anybody else. Says that both sides are working towards an extension for A.J. Brown to remain a Titan for a long time. This comes after A.J. Brown had removed Tennessee from his location part of his Twitter bio.
Ooh,
yeah, Tennessee is where he was. And then if you look what it became, he ain't nowhere. Okay, it's just no options, no intro, no bio, no nothing. So this is all potential.
It's kind of like step 2 of negotiations. Right now in 2022, you got to unfollow or do something online that shows that you are not on board with where you are.
Bingo. It's a leverage play from A.J. Brown, who also came out publicly to bury some of the Titans fans who said he was a diva and a bad teammate because he didn't want to go to voluntary OTAs until he had a new deal like everybody else around him seemed to have. He said, do what you have to do then. And so will I. Delete Tennessee right out of the Twitter bio. And then now they're working on an extension via Diana Rossini. What are your thoughts on this, AJ? AJ Brown, obviously a stud, deserves to get paid. Will it happen before the draft, after the draft, before the season? Who knows, I guess.
If I was him, I'd want it to happen before, I guess as soon as possible if they come up to what your number is. But what is that number? We know like guys are getting absolute massive deals now at the receiver position.
Vrabel said he loved A.J. Brown, didn't he?
Yeah. Of course they love him. Well, I know we say that salary cap doesn't matter, but still, whoever is running the salary cap there has to think about that.
So there's a whole conversation about that we will get to from Jeremy Fowler and his report. Let's stick on this one, though. Allegedly via sources, Diana Rossini also reported that somebody said that there are people who are – it's no secret that Brown is truly the only playmaker on the team via sources through Diana Rossini. Derrick Henry needs the offensive line to block, obviously. Brown only needs the ball thrown his way. He creates his own production. There's a difference between a productive player and a playmaker, and Brown is both a productive player and a playmaker in his own right. Makes sense. Needs Tannehill to throw him the ball. Needs the offensive line to give Tannehill enough.
Whose quote is this?
We don't know. This is just via sources.
Okay.
So we don't know. We don't know if it was a part of the A.J. Brown team.
I thought it was Diana Rossini for a second saying that.
No, she put quotes around it. So, like, there's quotations there. Boom. We had the same conversation before we went on air. This is via sources. She wrote about all this at...
I believe it's like mydiary.dianarossini/something-else.com.
So she has her own website, I believe, where she writes on. And she's a good writer, by the way.
She is a good writer.
Good writer, good inside sources. It's mydiary.
Maybe Diana Rossini.something-else.com.
Why is she not writing on ESPN.com? I guess that's a whole nother conversation.
That's what I was wondering.
Whether she wants to or doesn't want to. Maybe she wants to run her own thing or they don't want her to do that. Then why they block our domain from the emails?
Ooh. Yeah.
You know?
That's a good question.
What do you mean?
Nobody from our business's email account can get an email through to ESPN.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you guys making burner accounts?
No, we just found out this morning. And to be honest, the way we found out was something much bigger than sports.
That's right. Yeah, it was.
It's much bigger.
It's because of Bruce?
Yeah.
So they block. Anyways, let Diana on the fucking site. She's a good writer. What are we even doing? Maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she's running her own thing. Whatever the case, she seems to believe that A.J. Brown and the Titans are about to get something done in the near future, which is great news for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, he is. He's unbelievable. And that's what you look at these things. I don't understand how. I mean, we even play this game, but they can't let him go. Like the Titans, they might not want to give him what he is going to ask for, but they don't really have an option. It's not like you can let him walk. I mean, I suppose you could trade him and get good value for him in return, but
come to the Colts.
They need him. They need him very badly, and he's super young, and he's incredibly explosive. What else are they going to do?
And everybody around him has gotten paid. Can you pull up the graphic with Deontay Johnson at the top of it? So Deontay Johnson also allegedly not showing up to voluntary workouts, but then he tweeted, that's fake news. This entire draft class here, 2019 draft class, is fucking stacked. This actually might have been the start of wide receiver draft classes just being very good with the new era of 7-on-7s and content being king and, people training their feet to be better just as content, also making them incredible wide receivers. Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Hunter Renfrow, Marquise Brown, A.J. Brown, Noah Fant, Deebo Samuel, T.J. Hawkinson, and Mecole Hardman. I mean, this is an absolutely stacked draft class. And Deontay Johnson has the most receptions out of all of them.
Ooh.
He is allegedly missing, but then he said that's fake news, so who knows how that whole thing goes. But every one of these dudes wants to get paid, and I can see how every team would be forced to almost pay them, including the Pittsburgh Steelers and Deontay.
Yeah, Deontay on his rookie contract has made like $3 million over his first 3 seasons. And he's had, I think he had 50 receptions this rookie, 90 his second. He had 110, I think, last year. So, yeah, he's coming up here. And it was rumored during the season that he was looking for about 15 a year. But now after this offseason, now when everyone's getting 20, I assume he's looking for that type of number because his production. Now Steelers fans will say he dropped 5 last year, he dropped 13 the year before. That was a big thing with him. But I assume, like, if you want him, you're going to have to pay him.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger was throwing him dimes. I
Oh, yeah.
Seeds.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute dimes. Yeah, he's fucking.
Does Pittsburgh do that? Do they usually like pay a guy before they have to?
No.
No, but does anybody do anything anymore?